What's up, y'all? It's JP, and today we're going to be going over one of the best ways yet rarely used approaches to beating those better teams that you may come across in the rec. I'm talking about them pick and roll or 5-out offense and then get back into 2-3 zone teams. You know exactly what I'm talking about. And we ran into one of them on stream the other day and we dissected their defense using straight ball movement. I discussed ball movement in a previous video and how important it is when you have multiple players with IQ on your team willing to make the extra pass or able to make the right read. So in this video, I'm going to break down some basics on why this works so well even against the quote-unquote comp in the rec. Let's dive in. So the first basic principle you'll see here is taking advantage of numbers and being willing to make that extra pass after defenders start closing out on you. You'll see time and time again throughout this video and during your games that this basic principle is the key to dissecting these zone defenses especially. That's simple, but I needed to mention that off the rip. Now on this next play, I want you to pay attention to how we utilize passing to expose their bad defense on the zone. You'll be surprised by how many 2-3 zones are actually not good at all if you stay patient and swing the rock like we did in this clip. But let's cover the important parts of this play. The first is establishing our threat in the middle to get that middle defender to play honest while the rest of us space the court to drag them into a fake man, knowing that they want to get back into their zone. Next, you have to watch for opposite side defenders slacking off in order to move the ball and also shift their defense. The next point of attack is relocating on offense to positions where you see gaps in the defense, and our corner player here makes a beautiful read to the top of the key because this guy is guarding nobody and ends up just out of the play. Call it bad defense, and I agree, but you're gonna keep seeing why 2-3 zones that you may be losing to, just like this one, get killed with ball movement. I want to touch on transition as well against these teams because a lot of times they're going to try to just run back into their spots on zone rather than guarding an actual person, even if it means leaving a wide open shooter. So you see here, we advanced the ball and I made a semi-risky pass to the corner to try to get a corner 3, but it's covered. Now look at the center right here. Who is he guarding? Nobody. So when I catch the ball right here, instead of trying to force and create something on my own, I just become a willing passer to my open teammate and I trust that he would knock down the open shot in the middle right here. And you're also going to see soon that once you expose weak spots in the zone like we did on this play, defenders start to overreact, which will lead for opportunities for you to make that extra pass. Now this next play just defines the whole video. Watch our patience on this play. I try to hit the cutter, there's nothing there, so he kicks out to the corner, who's covered, who then passes to the wing. He sees the center trying to step out of the paint, so he drives in and kicks to that middle of the defense. But they recover, so then the middle kicks to me on the wing, and I saw my opposite side corner cut while the center is stepping out of the paint, but he got a bad catch animation that slowed him down, so he didn't force a bad take again and just kicks out. Now I'm gonna stop it right here so you can pay close attention. With all of our movement and shooters, we're forcing that big man to step all the way out onto the wing right now, but we know that he wants to crash inside. So this corner defender is really just here for show. So once my teammate with the ball gets a step towards the middle on his defender, the big man is gonna look to drop, and guess what? Corner defender tries to jump up to the wing and gets dotted. That right there is 24 seconds of patience in analyzing the defense's habits and taking advantage of them. This was probably one of their better defensive possessions as well, but still, nothing beats patience and high IQ on the offensive end, and this was a prime example of driving, kicking, and attacking until you find that weak spot in their defense. Now earlier I told y'all about when you attack that weak point and these zone teams overreact. My teammate makes that entry pass to my big, who then finds me in that sweet spot in the middle, and you see from here is just making that easy extra pass to the wing shooter when they collapse. And also, worst case scenario, he still had that one more pass to my corner shooter if that defender had stepped up in time to contest his shot. All it took was 3 passes to get an open look from a shooter. We pass to shift the defense first, pass to a weak spot so that they overreact, and then make an extra pass when they overreact. No need for isolation or trying to create off the dribble when the defense is literally giving up buckets because they can't keep up with passes. Here's another example of patience and understanding the defense's habits. I pass early and end up getting the ball back on the wing. I hold on to it in order to let my teammates reset and space the court. I initially try to go for that pick and pop, but since it's covered, I pop back out and relocate and pause right here. Now I got the middleman on me, so I bring him out knowing he's gonna want to drop back to that paint again. We overload this left side, and once my teammate hits me, guess what? I see 2 defenders now focused on me, and I know that big wants to drop back down. so it's just a pass back to a wide open shooter on the wing. Now, I understand that all of this stuff happens in real time, game speed, whatever you want to call it, but that's why you have to take certain possessions slow in order to read the defense's habits and understand even these teams that sit in the zone and go crazy in the rec are beatable with basic basketball principles. Again, I have to mention it does take multiple people on your squad with IQ for this to work effectively, because you have to trust one another to make the right decision every time you pass the ball. But once you get that down, you're going to open up so many avenues of scoring that no matter who you're playing, they won't be able to stop you. For this last play, I want you to count how many dribbles we take after half court and then count how much passes we make. Drop a comment with the right answer if you a real one, but I point that out again to explain to ya that you can find openings against these teams with only one dribble and kick and then simply making the extra pass right afterwards. Don't force shots, just pass when the defense crashes or rotates, and I promise you're gonna find plenty of open shots just like this play if you play team basketball. Now don't get this mixed up with passing without a purpose. Randomly passing doesn't accomplish anything. So use the tips that I gave y'all and scan the floor for the weaknesses and weak points within the other team's defenses. And then use your passing and movement off the ball to shift that defense into making mistakes and giving you that advantage. From there, it's simply just making the right next pass in order to score. I made a video about this in the past, but I wanted to go into deeper detail, especially since me and my subscribers do run into a lot of those teams in the rec, and whether or not you think they're good doesn't change the fact that a lot of teams struggle to beat a team like this that plays more of a quote-unquote meta and then runs a zone on defense. That's why I want to give you guys proof that you can work well as a team offensively and that you can even beat these meta lineups and teams in rec without using the meta yourself. Again, it doesn't matter whether I agree with the meta or not, but trust me that in the rec especially, you can move the ball in order to beat these better teams, and you just need to work on that IQ and patience. I hope y'all found this video helpful. As usual though, y'all, like, comment, subscribe, and I'ma see y'all in the next one. Peace. How you can't tell time but you watch face? You're not on real time if you watch fake.